The Fox and the Orchard Keeper. In a sun-dappled valley, where rolling hills cradled an orchard of golden apples, there lived a cunning fox named Varin. His fur gleamed like burnished copper, and his eyes held the glint of a mind always scheming. The orchard, tended by an old keeper named Eldrick, was the pride of the valley, its apples renowned for their sweetness. But Eldrick was no fool. His sharp eyes missed little, and his traps guarded the orchard from thieves. Varin, however, hungered for those apples. Each night, he crept to the orchard's edge, studying the traps, the keeper's habits, and the rhythm of the valley. He knew a direct theft would be his undoing. Eldrick's suspicion would tighten like a noose. So Varin devised a plan, for he understood a truth as old as the hills. The essence of deception is distraction. One crisp morning, as Eldrick tended his trees, Varin emerged from the forest, dragging a plump pheasant in his jaws. The keeper froze, his hand on his staff, eyeing the fox warily. But Varin did not slink or skulk. Instead, he dropped the pheasant at Eldrick's feet and spoke in a voice smooth as river stones. "Good keeper," said Varin, "I've seen your toil, how you nurture this orchard for the valley's joy. I bring this gift, a humble offering, to honor your work. Let it grace your table tonight." Eldrick's brow furrowed. A fox giving gifts? Unheard of. Yet, the pheasant was real, its feathers still warm from life. Suspicion lingered, but greed softened Eldrick's heart. "Why this generosity, Fox?" he asked. Varin's eyes shone with feigned sincerity. "I am but a creature of the wild, yet even I see the value of your labor. Take this, and know I mean no harm." With a bow of his head, he retreated into the trees, leaving Eldrick clutching the prize. The valley buzzed with the tale. A fox with a heart, some said. A trickster reformed. Others, wiser, whispered doubts, but Eldrick's guards softened. The pheasant fed him well, and for days, he spoke warmly of Varin's deed. The fox, he thought, was no threat, but Varin was patient, and patience was his sharpest claw. Each week, he returned with small gifts: a rabbit, a clutch of wild eggs, a bundle of herb seed left humbly at Eldrick's gate. The keeper's wariness dulled, his traps grew rusty, and his nightly patrols dwindled. Varin's honest gestures wove a spell of trust, disarming the old man's suspicions like a key turning in a lock. Under the cover of a moonless night, Varin struck. While Eldrick slept, dreaming of the fox's kindness, Varin slipped into the orchard. His paws danced past neglected traps, and his jaws plucked the ripest apples from low branches. He took only what he could carry, enough to sate his hunger for weeks, then vanished into the dark. Dawn broke, and Eldrick found the theft. A handful of apples gone, not enough to ruin him, but enough to sting. He scoured the orchard, but the traps were untouched, the ground unmarked. His thoughts turned to Varin, but the memory of the fox's gifts clouded his judgment. "Surely not," he muttered. "Not the fox who honored me." Doubt gnawed, but proof eluded him, and the valley's praise for Varin's generosity drowned his suspicions. Varin, hidden in his den, savored his prize. The apples were sweet, but sweeter still was the lesson carved into his cunning heart. One honest gesture, well placed, can cloak a dozen dishonest acts. A single act of generosity could distract, disarm, and blind those who might see through the ruse. As the valley sang of the noble fox, Varin planned his next move. Knowing the keeper's trust was now his greatest weapon. Moral: deception thrives in the shadow of trust. A single act of apparent virtue can distract from darker deeds, for generosity blinds the wary and quiets the doubtful. But beware, for those who wield such guile may one day find their own trust betrayed.